Hello. Um, I am going through the lists for the Danish Nationals. Now they're really starting to tick in. The deadline is today, and a lot of people have been kind enough to send me their lists as well, which means that I can make videos about them. So if you want your list talked about, send it to me. Don't just send it to Benny, although he of course will be checking the list, so do send it to Benny. But if you want me to say something and introduce your list and maybe give you some feedback on your list, send it to me. I will do so. This one is from Jesper G, and Jesper is a player who appeared, at least in my mind, appeared this year. Is that right, Jesper? Have you started within this? I mean, not 2022, but like you're like 1 year into bold action or something like that, right? It's a nice list. I really like it. There's a lot of good things going on with this list. It's a German platoon. It's a German tank platoon. It is. It's not an optimized meta list, but it is a good list. It starts out with a Panzer III, Aus G, which means that it's an 8+ medium anti-tank gun, which is good, and it can still split fire because it has 2 MMGs. It's a really good German tank, worth the points, and not overly expensive. It has, of course, the command vehicle special rule, and that's basically it. So it turns into the lieutenant for this platoon. Then he has 2 Panzer IIs, Lux, which is the 8+ Recce Panzers that has a light autocannon. I really like those. I fear those. They're a cheap version of a tank that can really do double purpose. It can both hunt vehicles because it has Recce and it's relatively fast with that Recce, and it's armored, it's close-topped, and it has that autocannon. The autocannon makes it so that you're more likely to hit your intended target. Yes, you won't hit as hard, but you will pin it at least. And if you're taking side shots at a tank, or if you're shooting at soft-skinned, they will die. So I really like those looks, Panzer looks. They're really good. For infantry, he has 2 Storm Pioneers, which are very, very expensive units, and he has kitted them out with all the trimmings. So 3 submachine guns in each unit, flamethrower, and 2 Panzerfaust in one, and 1 Panzerfaust in the other. That is expensive, very, very expensive, for very, very small units. But they are dangerous. And they can threaten anything, right? The Panzerfaust against tanks, the flamethrower against infantry, the SMGs, they will definitely hit something and pin it and maybe also kill stuff. So although they're very small units, I think he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 men in each unit. So they're very, very small. And that's the trade-off, right? That is what you're trading off when you're doing tank platoons. You can't have that much infantry. It's just not there, especially if you also kit out your infantry with the right tools to make them threatening. It becomes very, very difficult to have large units of infantry. So the final unit of infantry is one of my personal favorites for the Germans, and that is the Brandenburgers. The Brandenburgers have all those special rules. They're fanatics behind enemy lines, which makes it easier for them to come onto the board, and they have sabotage and paranoia, which makes it so that your enemy has trouble bringing on reserves and outflankers and all that. So they are a good board control unit. Really, really good. They are expensive as well. He's brought 5 men, 4 of them with submachine guns, 1 of them with an assault rifle, and then they have 2 Panzerfausts. I'm guessing, Jesper, that you want to use these as outflankers, which would be a really good idea. If you can outflank into the side of a tank that has moved out too far towards the sides, you will kill it. 2 Panzerfaust into the side of a tank, that's a dead tank. So it's a really good unit. Very expensive again, but really good. Then he brings a light mortar team, inexperienced to save the points. A Nebelwerfer, inexperienced to save the points. Both of those, if you want to make them more survivable, yes, you can buy them regular, but they're not suffering the consequences to shooting for being inexperienced. So that helps, I guess. So that if you want to min-max a bit, that's what you should do, right? Then a horse-drawn limber to inexperienced to tow in the Nebelwerfer. And I have my notes in my hand here. And some half-tracks. He has brought 2 SDKFZ 250s 1/1 half-tracks, which are 7+ open-topped. They have a pindle-mounted MMG, so they're basic Hanomaks, the small Hanomaks that can carry 5-man units. I am guessing that the Storm Pioneers will be in these. He has brought them regular because he needs them to be able to move and shoot. So not have that -1 for being inexperienced. Again, this makes it so that everything in his list is armored, everything is movable. That's the way to go if you want to make a tank list. A Maltier half-track is the final unit that can carry 12 men, which means that he can shift around and have other units. Maybe he can have both. He could run both of the Assault Pioneers in one half-track, but on the other hand, it's soft-skinned. So it's a bit more vulnerable than the rest, right? And the Maltier is inexperienced as well. So I would definitely not put my Brandenburgers into that if you're going to outflank with them. Then they need to be on foot, right? But the Maltier can pull the rest of it in, and he needs all these transports because his list is a tank platoon. In a tank platoon, you need to have everything. Everything needs to be able to go in a truck somewhere, right? So that is Jesper's list. A very interesting list, a very good list, with a few weaknesses, which is as it should be, I guess. Good luck, Jesper, and I'll see you in a few weeks. Cheers.